Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt. Welcome to the New Brick Workshop. Now, I was in the process of making this little cover. It's just to keep some dust off something. And in here I had to put this inserted piece of plywood. And I thought I'd measured it really well, but there were a few gaps. And I suddenly realised that there's a technique which I use and lots of other people use where you can fill a big gap, and that filler also strengthens the joint between the two pieces which have that gap between them, if you see what I mean. And that's what I've had to do here. Now I hope you can see here along that line between the plywood which was here and this inserted piece of plywood there, that there's a gap, and the same on the other side. And I wanted to make sure that there was the maximum strength of this bottom piece because it's got an important bit of work to do. And so I wanted to add some structural strength between those two pieces of plywood on both sides. So I've used the gluing technique which many people use, whereby you can fill a gap with a gluey solution that then strengthens the bond between the two pieces with the gap. Now, in order to make this mixture, you need some wood chippings or wood dust, and chippings, if they are chippings, need to be quite small. One way to do it is to set yourself up on your bench and do a bit of sawing, and then gather the dust up, as you might be able to see just here. The other is that you could, if the gap is big enough, use some very, very fine shavings like these. And these are really, really fine. Mixed up with glue, those will form a pretty good filler, particularly for larger gaps. Another way of finding the dust, if you don't want to create it yourself, is to get dust that you've already created and get it from your dust extractor. And of course, if you're really careful, you can go to something like this drop box where there's a sizable amount of dust in there. It's my interceptor between my Capex and my CT26 extractor. But do be careful, because the dust that you've captured there won't be very good for your chest. Now, in order to create a sort of test piece, I've got this piece of plywood, and I've stuck on here a little bit of wood on either end, so that when this piece goes on like so, I hope you can see that there's a reasonable gap there. It's about 2 millimeters at this end and 1 millimeter there, and I'm now going to hold these together with a clamp at each end, only just so that the two pieces are held in place, and then I'm going to fill them with my mixture. And after the glue with my mixture has gone off, we'll see how well these two pieces are held together. But first, I've got to create the mixture. Now, the gap that I've created is probably too small for this type of mixture with the fine shavings. But what I've done is I've taken some sawdust from one of my extractors, and I think there's probably enough there. Maybe I'll add a little bit more of this. And then I'm going to put some glue in here and mix it up. And I'm using ordinary Titebond 2. Now, you don't want to make this too runny, but you must make sure that it forms a nice paste. Surprising just how much glue you need, which is a good thing, because that means that there's a lot of fibres in here which require glue to join them together. Now, as you mix this, you must remember that the wood is porous, the glue wants to go off in a reasonable length of time, and so it's going to actually go off very quickly if you're not careful. Well, I think that's as good as I can do. Well, it may look a little bit messy, but I think it might do the trick. We'll soon find out. And here's that mixture I made up. In the thick of it, it's still a little bit soft, but most of the thinner bits are dry. So if your gap is really big, you do need to leave it for a long time. And there will become a stage where you can clean excess off very carefully before you then finish the piece completely. So that's got those bits away. Obviously this side, if it were a real piece, would need to be sanded. Now it's not glued at all at either end here. The only glue effect between the two pieces is that filler I've just put in. I'm now going to try and break it apart. It doesn't want to move. No, I can't break it just with my fingers, so that's pretty good. Now, of course, if you've got a real smart piece of furniture which you have to fill some voids, and it's particularly common with some of the hardwoods like oak, where you get knot voids and all that sort of thing, you can use an epoxy resin, which I've used on this table, and you can get it in different colours, and it's very, very hard, and it does stand the test of time. And I've had this dining room table in use for over 6 years, and it's still as good today as it was when I made it. Well, I hope this short video was useful, and if you do this sort of thing, just be careful where you get the dust from. It doesn't go down on your chest. Many thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.